Add. Sounds working, and we're live. Okay, do you want to send out some tweets and stuff?
Yeah.
There's no one watching.
So. There's no one watching.
No one watching. Yeah, you have to give them a minute. Let them show up.
Phone my mum.
Phone your mum, of course. I've got her on speed dial. Oh!
Hey.
So. I need to get the Twitter up as well. So how you been? Not spoken to you in like 40 seconds.
Not seen you in ages.
We're live now. There we go. Generally, just about a minute for people to show up.
Okay.
Quite often people don't show up, so you just talk to yourself. I've been doing videos all this week, and the last couple, no one showed up. So I've been talking to myself, which has been great because like I didn't really do it for people to hang out because it's quite boring stuff, but it's still like a little bit weird. I'm like, yeah. But last night I had my respirator on, so I couldn't talk. So I'm just kind of like making it grunts and stuff.
In an empty room.
In an empty room, yeah. Chatting to myself. What's your Twitter name?
Alasdair W. And then I should retweet that.
I swear. Alasdair W. There we go. Okay, so I think we're just about to get going. What'd you drop?
Scalpel.
I'm glad I got my shoes on.
Yeah. I meant to hit you with a go.
All right, true. There we go. You can retweet that now, and I think we should get going because we faffed it off.
Yes.
There you go. There's you tweeted. So yeah, there's a. See, still nobody watching.
Zero views.
So.
Well, I take it this is being uploaded to YouTube for posterity.
Posterity.
Yeah. But everyone on the back shift to watch it in the morning.
Archived, yeah.
Archived.
Oh yeah, archived. I think the official name. Yeah, it's archived. It's all archived. So that's it. So let's start the show. That's you just retweeting. I like to keep my phone on. Oh dear, I think I have done something silly. I think I've scheduled 2 events to happen at once.
2 events?
I just got a notification saying that my last night's show was due to start now. Oops. Okay, well, we'll figure that one out later. That would be very silly. Let me check that. Quickly. What date's today? 25th?
25th.
Yeah, I scheduled it for today from 8 to 9, but I recorded it last night. Oh well, that's why I couldn't find it on YouTube. I was looking for it all day on YouTube, but I could not find it. So that's because I put the wrong date. Silly me. Oh, okay, so let's get going after all that. We're finally here. Not yet. Wait. Don't you wait. So hello and welcome to the Sorenzo Prop Show. And this week we're down in the workshop. I'm down in the workshop again because one of my cohorts upstairs is doing some website building stuff and he's got clients in. So we've been relegated downstairs. But I don't really mind because the Wi-Fi connection is a lot better down here and the video quality seems to be great. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi in my building sucks, which a lot of my videos, the quality dips in and out. So sometimes it's 720, sometimes it's 240.
I've noticed.
Yeah, it's really shitty.
I watch every single week.
Yeah, oh dear. Yeah, of course you do. There's not a lot I can do about it, so I'm just going to have to put up with it until I can afford like some sort of super fast, unlimited 4G plan or something like that. But yeah, apparently to get fiber in here is going to cost tens of thousands. So the Sorenzo Prop Show live with Alasdair Watson Photography, that guy there who takes photographs. We're going to do the same thing that we do every other week. We're going to sit here.
Take over the world.
Yeah, we're going to sit here and talk nonsense. If you do happen to tune in or you are watching, oh, we've got some viewers. It's both our moms.
Hey Mom.
If you are tuning in, feel free to ask us a question. 3. Have you got an aunt? Granny?
Yeah, she won't be watching.
There you go. She won't be watching. Feel free to drop us a question on the Q&A app, which I've just opened up. If any questions at all regarding to me or to Alasdair, and we're just going to talk some nonsense for the next 55 minutes or so, or until we get bored or run out of stuff to talk about.
Yep.
We've done all the housekeeping, haven't we? There's nothing really to talk about. I've been working really hard on making some molds, and I've been doing a lot of live streaming to see how you guys like it. I've been working on the mold version 3 for the Guy Manuel random access memory version helmet, which is going really, really well. I think I've finally mastered my sort of process for mold making, which is quite good. So the last 3 or 4 nights I have been live streaming, and I have shown you various processes that I do in order to make a matrix mold. The first one was adding the clay. Did you watch that?
Nope.
2.5 hours long.
Wow.
Some people actually watched the whole thing, which I found amazing. So yeah, it was 2.5 hours of playing up. The clay that I got was a new clay, so it was it's a lot cheaper, so it's a little bit more difficult to work with. And I was kind of like chatting as I went along as well, not really focusing. And then the next night I showed how you add a dividing wall into the clay so that you can then make a 3-part outer jacket, because you need the hard outer shell to come apart. And then last night I did some fiberglassing, which was really dull because I had a mask on and I couldn't talk. So that was a bit strange. So just me working with knowing that there was a camera on me. But that's not available to view until right now because I scheduled it for the wrong day. So I'm pretty sure that I think his name is Art. Is it Art Stoop? Art Stoop, give me a message. Yep, he's been tuning in for the last couple of nights. And yes, there was a stream last night, but I scheduled it for tonight, so that's where the confusion might be. So it's already happened, so it'll be on YouTube in the next hour. Instead, you got to put up with me and Alasdair here. So that's pretty much it. I have nothing else really to talk about Sorenzo props related. So let's get into Alasdair Watson Photography. And I've got some questions for you.
Good.
So, what shampoo do you use?
I use Tresemme
Look at this
for normal hair.
Look at this hair. Look at this. Isn't that ridiculous?
And I condition with simple conditioner.
Guys with long hair, it's ridiculous. It's a bang out of water. Okay, now serious.
You're going to ask me about my beard?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Hold. I want to talk to you about Alasdair Watson Photography, which is what you do for a living. Surprisingly,
yes.
People pay you to take photographs.
They do.
So I want to know a bit about how you got into it. General photography, first of all, because I know you do a lot of cosplay photography. Of course I know. But I want to talk about that later. So let's just talk about the photography thing and how that all came about. Because I know me and you kind of started around the same time, didn't we?
Yeah, very similar kind of time.
Yeah.
And I think we both sort of got into what we do in a similar fashion, almost by accident.
So tell the story.
Well, I was a school teacher, believe it or not, and I hated it, and I was no good at it.
Okay.
And I very quickly became unemployed, and had a long.
Does that mean you got the sack?
My contract ended.
Okay.
And I did a bit of soul searching, figuring out what I liked to do,
Okay.
what I wanted to do. And while I was teaching, I was doing a little bit of event photography for a couple of companies that I sort of knew, some friends.
Right.
And I suddenly realised I was unemployed, had no money. Let's do something.
And what was your experience with photography at that point?
At that point, I was shooting sort of parties, and I was shooting sort of small business events.
Yeah. And what were you sort of self-taught, or had you
entirely self-taught at that point? Entirely self-taught. So me deciding to do photography and trying to get paid for it was utter madness. Absolutely ridiculous.
Quite similar to me making props.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was ridiculous. But what I did was I practiced and practiced and practiced. I gave up job searching. I spent all day taking photos of things, watching YouTube videos, teaching myself things. Eventually took myself to college, learned a bit of the kind of studio lighting, a bit of portraiture, and
so what did you do with that? Part-time course, full-time?
Part-time course.
Part-time.
Yeah, part-time. And eventually I sort of found the groove. I found what I was good at doing and concentrating on building up a network. Once I had the skills, thought were marketable, I got myself out there, took photos of things and people, and I've got myself an audience. And the phone started ringing.
So how did you go about networking? How did you go about making them?
I left the house, I took photos of things, and I emailed the people that were in the photos and says, these are my photos. Pretty much that.
Okay.
So
you just cold called them?
Pretty much cold called people. I was concentrating on events to begin with, and I constantly searching for cool events that were going on in town, and just took myself along to them, took some photos, and handed my card out to people.
Because I know it's quite a common thing for photographers to do a hell of a lot of gig photography. And they can get to go to gigs for free and hang out at the front and take photographs of the favorite bands and stuff like that. So is that sort of similar to what you did, but you just did it with events rather than with gigs?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I know there's no money in gig photography.
No, I deliberately kind of sidestepped away from gig photography because I knew that there was no work in it.
Okay.
It wasn't something I was particularly interested in, and the market's saturated with guys who want to take photos of gigs.
And at that point, were you thinking in business? Were you thinking making money?
Yeah. Well, the gigs I'd had previously were sort of small businesses launching new nights, launching new products, trying to drum up new business. So I had a small network of sort of entrepreneurs, small places in town, and I knew those were the kind of guys I wanted to work with. You know, the kind of entrepreneurs, the startups, the small businesses. Found it a lot more interesting, a lot more satisfying working with those guys. So I just kept an ear to the ground, what was going on. I went to networking events, I went to kind of craft fairs and makers fairs and that sort of thing. I just mingled, met people, and made sure my name was out there.
Excellent, excellent. So when did the cosplay come along? Well, I kind of see where it's coming along now. You're taking pictures of interesting things rather than taking pictures of shite musicians.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the cosplay took me a few years to kind of twig because I'd been shooting Glasgow Comic Con for a couple of years as an event photographer.
And did you meet them the same way?
Yes.
Yeah.
They, Shah and Mark, I met a couple of years previous through a series of events that I shoot in Glasgow, website called Yelp.
Yep.
I do all their photography, and Shah and John at the time, Mark, would come along to those and party with us. So they knew me, they'd seen my work, and one year they came along to me and went, we're doing a Comic Con, do you want to do photos at it?
Okay.
Brilliant. So I did Glasgow Comic Con's photos for a couple of years until I realised 50% of the photos I was taking were of cosplayers.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if these guys would be interested in professional photography. By this time, I was doing product photography, I was doing portrait photography, done a bit of fashion photography, and I was earning a living doing it. So I think we'll go back a year or two now, a couple of years. So I thought, let's do fashion photography, but with cosplayers. Advertised it, stuck it up on Facebook, ran a competition, and
that's around about the time that we've known each other for years. But that's about the time we met, and we're like working. Similar. I was guesting at.
You were guest judging
Glasgow Comic Con.
Yeah.
And you were doing photography there, and that was your second year, wasn't it?
That was my second year doing photography there. That was your first year.
That was my first year guesting. Yeah. I remember us having a drink, like, oh, we should do something together. That's interesting. I've not seen you in a while. You're doing photography. I make stuff that can get photographed. Wow, yeah. Brilliant. So, what percentage of your work now is cosplay? I know you're doing a hell of a lot of it.
It's a very good question. I probably have. There's two sides to the cosplay photography as well.
Yep.
So there's all my sort of corporate commercial work that I do Monday to Friday 9 to 5, and then the weekends I travel around Comic Cons, either doing shoots on location there or with my photo booth.
Yeah.
The photo booth, when I've got a photo booth at a con, that's me busy.
Yeah.
Because I've got all the photos, a full 2 days, and then I'll have a full few other days editing, posting, that sort of thing.
So explain the photo booth. The photo. I can't talk. Yeah. I burnt my tongue on some chili at the beginning of the week, but I put it on the top of my tongue and it burnt it. So I flicked my tongue up and it fell underneath my tongue, and I burnt the bottom of my tongue as well. So somewhere the
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, explain the photo booth.
Well, if I am invited to a con, I will bring my photo booth along. Now, what I do at that is, well, I like to run it differently from photo booths that other conventions, other companies run. I sort of offer a kind of studio experience. So rather than coming along, click, photo, print, off you bugger, I like to give guys who come in their costume a few minutes in the studio to plan shoots, change the lighting around. Then once I've got the photos, I take them over to the laptop, we sit down and we run through Photoshop for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And we put in effects, we add textures, we make it look awesome. Then they get the prints instant take away. And you know, they're with me for a few minutes as opposed to in, out, but they get an experience as well as the photos to take away.
Excellent, because it is quite unique, isn't it?
Not a lot of people doing it that way, no.
No, because there's a lot of photographers. If you've been to a convention, you've probably seen it. A lot of photographers are set up and it's literally just a white backdrop, and then it just go print, and you just like get whatever pose. It's not really very exciting. The lighting's quite dull.
It's kind of still photo style.
Then there's the other scale of things where they have huge production values, where they've got amazing props and smoke machines, and they've got like supercomputers processing them away.
There was those guys at LSCC with the kind of Star Wars backdrop. They had dry ice, smoke, and kind of fake trees in the backdrop. Really beautiful setup. I would like to get there one day. But it's a lot of investment, and also you can only do one photo with that setup. Every single person gets the same photo, so it's a direction I might go in one day because it's so impressive. Even just walking in and seeing it there is impressive.
If we had a better Wi-Fi connection, I would pull up your photos and give some demonstration. But where can they check out your photos?
You can check out my photos at alasdairwatsonphotography.com.
There will be a link down here if you're watching on YouTube. The Photoshop experience is quite unique. Because your backdrop is just black, and you've got some color gels for lighting and stuff, and you can adjust that. But then you do some Photoshop work, which I think is what really makes it. So explain that a little bit.
Well, it comes down to who your character is as a cosplayer. One of my favorite photos I've ever done is probably the little Captain America. He's like free, and he's got the pose, and he's staring off into middle distance. He came along, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with him. He's tiny. I want this photo to be epic. And gritty. So I fired some orange and yellow lights at him, sort of simulating flame. Into Photoshop we go, flame, sparks flying all around him. So my lighting and those effects in Photoshop sort of tie in and give it a sort of authentic feel. So it looks like the flames are actually shining on him, dropping the shadows they would do. If your character is, something different, for instance, Quicksilver. I've done a few Quicksilvers. I'll be adding motion blur. So really, Photoshop, I am like this. I've got everything in my actions. I've got all my buttons. I know where they are. All my hotkeys. Whatever your character is, we'll bring it into Photoshop and bang. We'll do something.
Because I've started your photo book for quite a while, and I've watched people, and they get like, I'm used to it. I'm just like, oh, here we go, another filter. Oh, some more flames. Put some sparks in there. But people see it like, wow, look at that, because all of a sudden they're like, picture of them just standing like that turns into this like epic action scene.
Well, that's the thing. It's even getting to watch the Photoshop. I think it's part of the experience. That's part of what you're buying when you come to me.
They get some input into it. We've got a question coming in, which means we actually have a viewer, which is amazing. So this is Kaya Olana.
Hey, Kaya.
Kaya. So our question is, when at your photo booth, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of shooting a convention?
Most challenging aspect at my photo booth. It's finding a balance, I think, between speed of output and giving that experience. If I'm quite quiet, if it's a quiet con, I'll happily spend 5-10 minutes with someone tweaking and photoshopping hell out of the image. But if we're busy, I don't really get a chance at that. So if it's a really busy con, I think we miss out a little bit. So it's finding a balance where people get that experience, but there isn't a queue for them, I think the other thing is, if I don't know the character very well, it's not like I can, open up YouTube and watch 5 minutes of an anime to figure out how it is. I need to think on my feet and just figure out what's going to work with this particular character.
Because you kind of struggled at Okinawa with that, didn't you? Because we didn't know any of the characters. They all
anime go on.
They all seem to be Japanese schoolgirls with some sort of superpower, good or evil.
Magical girls.
Magical girls.
Well, I think that's the thing. I've got a sort of stock of sort of go-to images I can do. And if yours definitely aligns with it, then we're fine, we're golden. If not, I need to sit and chat with you and ask you what you want, what you'd like. Sit with me through Photoshop and get your pointers, which is the point of what I do.
Excellent.
But it's fitting that in with, you know, making sure people are happy, making sure people are coming in and going without waiting too long.
But it's popular, isn't it?
People love it. Yeah, people love it. I mean, like Okinawa had a queue away up the room at points. It was a bit scary.
I was there for some of that.
Yeah.
I was helping with the queue. Bugger off.
You come back in 5 minutes.
Thanks for that, Kaya.
Thank you.
Oh, Anna, brilliant.
I'll see you in Newcastle.
Oh,
if you're going to be in Newcastle on Sunday.
You know, Kaya.
Yeah,
brilliant. Yeah. Thanks for that, Kaya. So yeah, what can you do to? Because I know like some of the stuff you do is like markets, and they're quite quiet, and it's a usual regular folk that come in. But I know you want to branch out into some of the bigger conventions. Anything you can do to kind of, you know, because you said you get lost a little bit in the experience with the Photoshop. Any plans to?
I do. Well, I was talking about my Photoshop. I've got certain actions where rather than do everything manually, I can press go. I'm constantly building on that toolkit, so that every time something similar comes along that I've done before, I've got it. I go bang, and then the whole thing just automatically sort of is closed for you. Then I can tweak it, have some time. A few other things I'm thinking of. I'm going to have to get an assistant at some point.
Oh.
So if you're not busy, Tom.
What? Go hang out at conventions? I couldn't be arsed with that.
No, I'm definitely going to employ an assistant.
We've already spoken about that. I'm going to help you out a bit at conventions when I'm hanging out as well.
Well, if you're going to be there anyway.
That's it. Yeah. I have to stay sober for longer, but oh well.
No, so, I think it's just a case of streamlining everything and, you know, taking help on if I need it.
Yeah. So we've got a question coming in from Josette James.
Hey, Josie.
Let me just select that so she knows it's been answered. In terms of Photoshop, how did you learn it, and what is your opinion on the extent of photographers should use it to enhance a cosplay photograph?
Right, how long have you got?
Yeah. So, let's give you 7 minutes tops to talk about
Photoshop. I learned by doing. Basically, I've always got my ear to the ground of what other photographers are doing. I follow various blogs and groups, and if I see something and I like it and I don't know how to do it, instantly I'll put everything down and I'll learn how to do it. So it really is working on the job. If a certain photo comes that I've taken, I think I want to do this, I don't know how to do this, I'll look it up. In fact, a lot of the time what I do is before I shoot, I sort of plan that. I sort of think, this is a photo I want to do. Wait until a certain client comes along. I think I can use that with them. Then I'll already know how to do that certain photoshopping skill. Photo comes along, I do it, I take it, I learn it. And you know, I'm never not going to, I mean, it's like anything you do, anything creative, you never stop learning. So I'm constantly building up my toolkit that way. But YouTube tutorials, there's some really good Facebook groups that have sort of pointers that I'm a member of. And the second half of that question,
I like this bit actually.
The extent.
What is your opinion on the extent of photography? Because I know what I think about this. So let's hear what you have to say.
There's sort of 4 questions in one. That there is trying to create an image solely in Photoshop, where you do so much in Photoshop, the original photo is almost non-existent in what you've created. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with that. If you're you know, an artist creating a specific image, who cares how you got there, you know, if it looks good. But I think another way to interpret that is when someone takes an image and tries to rescue it in Photoshop. If it's not particularly well lit, if it's not a very good image, so you take it to Photoshop and they fire stuff at it.
Over-process.
You know, they over-process it. They give it all the bells and whistles to try and rescue something from it, which I think is sort of what's that? Chasing the thing after it's left the pen. You know, there's an old phrase, I can't remember. Anyway, I think it's trying to, you know, mop something up after you've spilt it. You know, I think before you take a photo, you should already, in your mind, know what you're going to do within Photoshop. So that's the way I do it. If I've got a cosplay shoot, I'll have 10 images I want to get. So I've planned it out with the cosplay beforehand. I want, if it's Quicksilver, I want you running, you know. So I'll take them somewhere and I'll have them running, and I'll already know what I'm doing in Photoshop. Because if I already know what I want to do with the image, I can't over-process it, because I know what I want to achieve. So I think with Photoshop, it's a tool like any other. It's no different from lighting in the studio. It's just a tool. But I think you should already know what you're doing with it before you even get to that point. If you bring a photo into Photoshop and go, right, what am I going to do with this? Whoosh, I think you've lost already.
Yeah.
You know?
No, because I think it's like anything. It's like it is a tool, but you need to know how to use it, and you need to be good at it. You know, you can use Photoshop to you can take 10 seconds taking a photograph and spend 10 hours making an image in Photoshop. If you're really good at Photoshop, you know, if you're not really good at Photoshop, 10 hours isn't going to make it a good photograph.
I think that's another rule of thumb that a lot of people go by, is if you can tell it's Photoshopped, you've not done it well. You know, if it looks like a Photoshopped image, then it looks like a Photoshopped image, you know.
But then again, every image is Photoshopped now, so
exactly.
So because even Alasdair's taking like quick little, like we did a photograph of our Daft Punk helmets for LCC, and I was like, right, hungover in the morning, I was like, take a photo of us. He took a photo, and he spent like 2 minutes, 3 minutes setting up. He took a photo, and then he spent 15 minutes on Photoshop, and I was like, dude, doesn't need Photoshop. He needs Photoshop. And I was like, all right, brilliant. And like, he didn't do a lot to it, but it just made it really.
The fisheye photo. Yeah, that was me adding the sort of VHS 80s TV effect. Already knew I was going to do that.
You've done that before, so you do that for stuff
exactly.
So great question. But
hope I've answered that.
It's your opinion. But I just think there's a lot of people who don't know how to use Photoshop. For one, I try and Photoshop my photographs, and I give myself like 15-20 minutes, and if it doesn't look anywhere near what I want it to look like, I'll just stop and delete the file. Simple as that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, you know. But I'm not like you, where I dedicate hours, because I don't need it. I just fancy doing something to a photograph, and generally my photographs are quite crap anyway, so I don't really want to waste time.
That's it, man. If you're using Photoshop to correct a crap photo, don't bother.
That's why I started doing my photography class, so I could get better at photographs, so I wouldn't have to be amazing at Photoshop. And
I'm not a Photoshop class now.
I'm alright at Photoshop. You've seen how I work in Photoshop.
That's true.
I don't know what I'm actually doing, but there, yes, it works. And I prefer that. So thanks for that, Josie. That was a great question. I had a question that I was going to ask to follow on from that, but I've completely fucking forgotten now.
Photoshop question?
Possibly. No, it's gone. It's gone. Okay. So let's go back and talk about what we just mentioned there, which was LSCC.
Yes, that was fun. That was awesome.
So guys, if you're watching, questions, keep them coming. They're great. They're great. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a whole lot of links down here in the description box. But we went to LSCC 2 weeks ago. We had a potload of fun. An absolute potload of fun. So LSCC, for those who don't know, is London's Comic Con, which is down in the Expo in London. Same venue as they have the MCM Expo, but it's a lot smaller event, a lot friendlier. It's not friendlier, but it's just a lot nicer, a lot more calm. So no massive queue, no craziness. But we made some costumes, and we did our sort of Run DMC Daft Punk crossover, which I've had in my head for like 2 years now at least. I've wanted Adidas tracksuit. I just wanted an Adidas tracksuit since the early 90s or noughties, early noughties. I've wanted one, and we did it. So we painted up some Daft Punk helmets. There's some links below. He was black tracksuit with stripes, and I was white tracksuit with black stripes, and we had a hell of a lot of fun. Absolutely amazing. It was quite a different convention from MCM because the Cosplayers was huge, but it wasn't crazy. It wasn't like everybody wasn't piled outside. I remember we walked in from we had a flat like a few blocks away from the actual doors, and we were expecting this like sea of people to meet us. You know, everybody to be hundreds of crowds and queues going for miles. And we rocked up, and then there was nobody there. We're like, oh shit!
Did you get the right weekend?
Have we got the right weekend? Did we travel all this way? But it was really, really quite nice.
Because there was room for the cosplayers in the hall. It wasn't crammed to the corners with merch. You know,
it's the first convention that I've been to anyway, that actually catered for cosplay. And those of you who know will know that it has an amazing cosplay competition. which I've told you that I actually entered and had to pull out because of work commitments, which really sucked. But the cosplay competition is absolutely fantastic because they offer, it's our first prize, it's a trip to DragonCon, which is kind of what lured me into it, I'll be honest. We got to meet some really awesome people down there, which was absolutely great. We got to meet Tabitha from Artifacts, and we got to meet Bill Duran,
Punished Props.
Props. So it was really great to hang out with those guys and actually sort of, like I've spoken to Bill, especially over the last couple of years for quite a while, and on Facebook and stuff, and now it was good to actually sit down and have a beer. It was quite good.
Have a chat.
I know I actually was a bit depressed when I got back because it was freaking awesome, and then back to this workshop. But
Con Blues.
I think that should seamlessly lead us on to another con.
Another con.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice t-shirt, Tom.
I got a new t-shirt. Yeah, check that out. So yeah, CosCon.
CosCon.
Yeah. We've not actually spoken about this together anywhere, have we?
No.
No. Well, some of you may know, some of you don't know, that me and Alasdair have started a new venture together, which is CosCon. And CosCon is basically a convention for cosplay. Yeah, simple as that. So having traveled around for the last couple of years going to conventions, I've been doing this photography, I've been guesting, and I've been judging cosplay competitions and just hanging out at conventions in cosplay. And we're having a drink one day and we're kind of like, dude, cosplay, it's always like an afterthought. Why do organizers suck so much balls about organizing cosplay?
You know what? We could do this better.
We could do it better. We're kind of like, yeah, we could do this better. So we are. Yeah.
Give it a bash.
We're going to give it a go. So yeah, we've started CosCon, which we are particularly excited about. So CosCon is basically going to be a solely cosplay oriented focused event. It's not going to be a huge event. We're going to start off quite small, quite local here in Scotland, and we're going to try and expand out. But we're aiming to have it for early 2016. We thought we were going to do this year, but it's not going to happen. But instead, what we're doing is we are hosting a series of cosplay oriented events, and our first one is this Friday. So do you want to explain what's happening this Friday?
This Friday, first event is CosCon Beta. And it's basically our introduction, to the Glasgow cosplay scene. We're going to have a party.
Simple as.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we've actually been working on some props tonight for CosCon Beta. Let's see, let's spin this around quickly. Look. Whoa. So there we go. So yeah, we've been making, where's the cups? Beer pong table, because that's the sort of event we're going to have. We're going to have an event where you can drink and have fun in cosplay and meet other cosplayers. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that. I'm a bit nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
A bit nervous. I don't know who's going to show up. It'll just be me and you renting a pub. That would be a good night. We've got beer pong.
So want to come.
So yeah, so cosplay is going to be quite exciting. So there's going to be a lot more about cosplay over the next while. I thought we'd get that out of the way and talk about it. So check out cosplay. We don't have the website yet. So CosCon UK for Facebook. Just search CosCon. There'll be links in here. But yeah, if you're in the Glasgow area this Friday, 7 to 11.
7 to 11 in the Flying Duck.
The Dying Buck. That's Sordy's nickname for it. I like it. I must say it in front of the manager tonight. So 7 to 11, Flying Duck this Friday. Cosplay welcomes. But that is the first of many. So we're hoping to do quite a few cosplay related events. We've got our second one scheduled for the 11th
of April.
11th of April, and that's going to be in Edinburgh. It's going to be in the Blind Poet. I don't know the address, but it's right next to Edinburgh Comic Con.
2-minute walk from the venue for Edinburgh Comic Con.
Yeah, so it's going to be the official venue for the unofficial after party for Edinburgh Comic Con. So we'll be there basically in a pub with karaoke, getting drunk in cosplay. But the rest of our events are not going to be just us in pubs getting drunk. We have got plans that are going to be more sort of activity orientated, but we're going to keep them a secret for now. But yeah, there will be alcohol involved because dressing up, drinking booze, that's what it's all about really, isn't it?
Socializing, meeting folk. So
this is, we talked about quite a lot about conventions.
Yeah.
Is that Grumpy? Oh, there he is. Cosplay.
That thing.
Oh, here we go. That's Mike has just tweeted in, and he is going to be all over CosCon. Genius light bulb. Hashtag light bulb. What are you doing with that light bulb, Mike? So cosplay. Yeah. Talk to me about your cosplay.
My
Past,
cosplay,
present,
past.
and the future.
Wow. Well, I've been. How long have I been cosplaying for? Tell you what, I've been taking Halloween far too seriously for about 10 years.
That's kind of how it starts.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can do this in July.
That is it. So yeah, so I've been cosplaying since last summer.
Yeah.
Did a couple in the summer, a couple of conventions, and a couple of markets, and it was good fun. I think I've been doing cosplay photography for long enough. Someone finally talked me into dressing up. But it was probably, where was it? We were in October, London. MC London in October. Yeah. I was Star-Lord, and everyone loves Star-Lord. And I suddenly got the bug.
Yeah.
Standing for photos.
You cosplay before that, though.
Yeah, I did loads of cosplays before that, but I never did it in London.
Right, okay.
As Star-Lord.
This is true.
And get stopped for photos every 5 minutes and treated like a celebrity.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally caught the bug there.
Yeah.
And
so what's your ambitions?
Any excuse? Oh, I've got a few costumes I've been working on very slowly for the past year. There's a Wolverine which has been in the works for a while. I might need some claws. I don't know who could make claws for me.
I think I might know a guy.
You might know a guy?
Yeah, let's see if I can get his number.
Send him a tweet from me. But really, I quite just enjoy simple cosplays because most conventions I'm working.
Yeah.
So I kind of need a costume that I can work in as well. Have my camera on my back and crawl about taking photos.
Because one you did, which I really enjoyed, was your hipster. What's the word?
Hipster Klingon.
Hipster Klingon.
My hipster Klingon, yes. My Klingon costume is well overdue.
It was funny because what made it was it's a really terrible headpiece, but then he just showed up dressed like a hipster with like a scarf and really crap clothes on. And was just like twirl his mustache and stuff, so it was quite funny. What was that? That was just for a little store opening.
Was a shop opening or something? Yeah,
that was quite funny. I didn't bother cosplaying for that.
No,
but
I don't know why I did.
You got the training and everything.
Yeah, on the subway in my Klingon garb was amazing fun. But yeah, I need my Klingon out again.
Excellent. That's Art has just tuned in. He missed the first 20 minutes. Yeah. I don't know if you heard the confusion, Art. So the live stream from last night was I couldn't find it today on YouTube. I actually scheduled it for tonight at the same time as this show because I'm an idiot. So you'll find last night on YouTube at 9 o'clock. But hey, don't worry, you can catch the whole lot. Catch up again. Art's tuning in. Yeah, he's been tuning in the last couple of nights. So I thought I'd say hi. Him and my mum.
Hi guys.
So
hi mom.
What's your this question gets asked to everybody, I think, is your big sort of no time limit, no financial constraints, and limitless talent. What's your sort of ideal?
Do you know, I really like Gordon Freeman's. So it's Gordon. I want to cosplay as Big Paul.
That's it. Our friend Paul just sent a picture of his face in, and I'm not sure what that was for, but it's hilarious. So thanks, Paul, if you're watching. If not, I'll text you there.
Cheers, man.
Okay, so what?
Gordon Freeman from Half-Life. He's got
yep.
armor suit. Always wanted to be Gordon Freeman.
You're right.
Always
I've never played that game. I think I'm familiar with. Is he kind of a specky guy?
Specky.
He had this huge suit, but he had no helmet. He just looking like he needed a bullet in the head.
With a crowbar.
Yeah. Crowbar.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds quite good.
Yeah.
Right, good.
That would be cool.
Put a link to that.
If I ever learn to do foam armor, he's my first project, I think.
Yeah.
Half-Life's
Don't say anything, but look at that. Yeah. Keep it secret. Keep it secret. But yeah.
What about yourself? That guy?
Keep it secret. Like I've said, every time I get asked this question, I've like sort of jumped ship onto another sort of trend or idea or gimmick or something like that. And last night just like no sleep researching that and came up with that, and that's the one at the moment. But I'm keeping it secret in case it ever happens.
Yes.
So that's a bit. It's quite ambitious.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit ambitious.
I made that mistake earlier in the year. I did a list of all the cosplays I wanted to do by the end of this year. I think it lasted a week before the list was totally different.
Yeah. But brilliant. We actually had a prop question come in, and I don't want to forget about it. it's Alvin who tunes in quite regularly. Alvin, I hope you're still watching. So Alvin asked, he's got an idea for a small build. He wants to do, oh, is this for my one-day build? Thermal detonator.
Thermal detonator from...
Yeah. Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
So Alvin, I think you're suggesting that for my one-day build, is it? I need to Google that. I forget what they look like. It's like a ball. It's got like a little.
It's like
push.
a yellow grey kind of
yellow?
grenade. Is it?
I don't know.
Thermal detonator. It's kind of grenade-looking little device.
Thermal detonator. I can't use this computer. Because yeah, I did a one-day build. You saw that, didn't I? Now,
was that your lightsaber or?
No, the stick of truth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's quite good. Yeah, I did a one-day build, and I've been meaning to do more of them, but unfortunately, I don't bloody get days free.
Yeah.
So the one-day build pretty much was where I came to the workshop on a Saturday, and I just spent the entire day building one thing. Start to finish, I recorded the video and showed how I did it. This is a half-finished one. Give me it. So I was planning on making this a solid, but this is a foam stick of truth. So yeah, it's just a stick. I keep on having to repeat that. It's just a stick. But it's a replica of the Stick of Truth that's featured in the South Park game, and I freaking love South Park, and I wanted the Stick of Truth for myself because he controls the stick, controls the universe. Haha! So yeah, I did that, and I've got a plan. I've got my second one planned. The only thing is I can't find the time. But Alvin has just suggested a thermal detonator from Star Wars, which I think that could be doable.
That's a good shout.
That
That's
could
a
be
fairly simple design, but you could pimp it out and make it look pretty.
Yeah. You know what, Alvin, it's going on the list. So thanks for that. It is going on the list. I need to figure out how to do it. But that's part of the challenge, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Figuring out how to do it. That's fun. Yeah, I like that one, Alvin. I will. Oh, that's a nice shot of it there. It's quite small, isn't it? I will certainly consider that. So yeah. I need to think of more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think Mike just tweeted in something.
Mike?
Yeah. I think he tweeted me. So yeah, if you can think of anything. He seconds the Gordon Freeman and also a Combine Soldier.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
They are like kind of the bad guys.
Oh, in a game.
Yeah, they're sort of fascist government sort of enforcers. They have a sort of white gas mask sort of style, lots of sort of body armor and really cool design. Half-Life is filled with amazing design, man.
It's quite an old game, isn't it?
Take a look at it. It's fairly old. The original game must be 15 years now.
Oh, yeah, they're interesting, all right.
Really cool.
They're kind of just like riot policey, aren't they? Yeah.
Kind of George Lucas Riot Police.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a costume.
They're from Half-Life 2, and they're the first thing you see in the game.
I really wish that I had like a good connection so I could put up the split screen, but it's just absolutely rubbish. But what can you do? What can you do?
Yep.
So I can't really think of anything else to talk about. You any questions? You've not asked me already.
Don't know if I have. What are you working on at the moment, Tom? Have you told me already?
Yeah, making the molds.
That's what you're doing. You're doing this, your fiberglass,
My
poisoning everyone in the workshop with fiberglass.
I am working on molds, which seems to have been taking over my life for the past 3 or 4 months, but it's worthwhile. I've been improving on my processes. Part of my problem that I do everything really slowly is because I'm constantly trying to upgrade and trying to improve and trying to make things better, which is a nightmare for me, but for you guys who actually give me money to make this stuff, it really pays off. Do you remember the guy that we met in October who totally fanboyed and wouldn't stop hugging me down at MCM?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so he bought a Tomas helmet off me.
I saw him post
that, and he posted a review, and it was really, really nice because he said my cast was damn near flawless, and I'm pretty sure he's bought 1 or 2 casts from other people. So I was really happy to get that, you know, and he put a wee post on his page. I sent him some stuff. He donated to my website as well, which is cool. So I sent him some extra gifts from that. So that was really, really quite nice. And when you get something like that, when people are like, whoa, I wasn't expecting it to be so good, that's why I do all this extra work. Man. So all my Daft Punk helmets have been remolded over the last 6 months, and they are all impeccable. I am so proud of them. I'm kind of winding down on the Daft Punk thing, which is quite good. I've got some, going to do a couple more helmets, and that'll probably be me. I might do 1 or 2 a year. But I have been working on some new commissions, securing new commissions. I've not secured them yet. And I was kind of hoping that I could announce one tonight, but I've just not secured it yet. So I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. That's the expression, isn't it?
I think so.
Count my eggs, count chickens yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not, but it's actually a really cool one. It's kind of niche. It's a movie prop. And I've never heard of the movie before. It's only coming out this summer, I think. And I just saw the trailer from it, and it looks really, really fun. And
someone's commissioned a piece from the trailer.
Someone's from the trailer. Yeah, which is bizarre. The movie's not even out yet.
Yeah,
so it's really, really bizarre. And there's some potential for some really fun cosplay with it. Really, really fun cosplay. So I'm excited. I was kind of hoping that I could announce that. And then there's another one that's a little bit further back in the works. I'm hoping that's going to come through as well, both helmets. So that's all I'm really working on at the moment. Nothing new and exciting here yet, but I have been spending a lot of time working on CosCon. It's amazing how much hard work it takes to organize people to go for a drink. So we have had a question come in, and it's from Josie again. So a question for me. Yes, I get this one a lot. So Tom, is Khal Drogo still happening? What's that? Well, that's a sticky out tongue smiley face. And Ali, tell me the secret of your luscious locks. You'd be looking fabulous. Yes, Josie, Khal Drogo is still happening. I don't think I actually told anybody that was happening, did I?
No, you didn't.
No, I
This
didn't.
is the official announcement.
I kept that freaking secret. Yeah, it is happening. I can't say when, because it was going to be like a super secret, and I was just going to like appear and be like, huh. But yeah, I want to do it for the summer. I don't know which event, but I do want to do it. There was a couple of reasons why I had to cancel for London. So I'm going to try and get all those pieces back in place and give myself a date with plenty of time to do it. But yes, that will be happening. It still has to happen. But there's going to be a spin-off from that because, of course, the Aquaman poster came out.
Man.
So I tweeted Zack Schneider the other day and told him to give me more pictures because I can't see the bottom half and I can't see the top of the Tritons. So I was like, do it. But he's not responded to me yet.
No, a busy man.
But he's a busy man. He'll get back to me soon. So, and yeah. Question I already asked, and it was the first question of the show.
Yeah, the secret ingredient is love. I love my hair, and it does what I tell it because I treat it so nicely.
You do love your hair. Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
There we go. So thanks for that, Josie.
And that's a compliment coming from a lady with the hair that Josie's got.
It is right. The same Josie we're thinking.
Yes,
it is. Okay, that's okay.
I think I hope.
I'm not sure because these Google names are always the same. Yeah. Did you see the weave of the Spock?
That was incredible.
That was incredible. That was the talent.
That hair's normally out to here.
It
just
because it was a Star Trek cosplay. I was just kind of like, Star Trek. It doesn't have to make sense. But then the step-by-step photograph made a hell of a lot of sense.
Man, that was
impressive. So yeah, cheers for that. So yeah, that's it. What else have we been talking about? I usually write a list, but I didn't write a list this time. I'm going to have a look and see if anybody messaged anything. Did you get any? Did your mum text you?
No.
Tell you there's a bugger in your nose? No, it's all quiet.
Yeah.
I thought we had plenty to talk about.
Oh, Kitty's posted one of her photos. Spent a lot of this week editing like crazy.
Oh yeah.
A photo set I did with Kitty Lappin a few weeks ago.
So Kitty Lappin Cosplay is her page. She's a local Glaswegian cosplay. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, it's this shoot. Yeah. That was done quite a while ago.
Zombie witch from Left 4 Dead.
Has that been released?
Yes.
It has been released.
Well, almost. Some of them have been released.
I'll check that out.
Take a look at Kitty's page. There's one or two up there.
Yeah, I saw.
There's one or two in my Facebook page as well.
Couple of teaser images.
They're pretty freaky looking.
They're a bit scary.
They're a bit scary.
Did she not go on the bus dressed like that?
She got the train into town with all her makeup on. And I'm pretty sure Kitty got a taxi home as well, and the taxi driver was looking in the mirror at her.
Dear, oh dear.
Yeah, she was pretty scary on the day, but I wanted to spend some time in Photoshop making her extra freaky looking.
Hashtag cosplay, hey?
Yes, hashtag cosplay.
This is just not doing much.
Working on those, and I'm so glad I've managed to put those out because I think they're some of the best photos I've ever done. Excellent. Some of them are just really atmospheric and Lapse bouquet.
Where did you do that?
That was all done in my studio. I've got a studio in town, and the room that my actual photography studio was in is just an empty room. And I chucked, some cardboard and some rubbish on the floor, made it look like an abandoned room.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah. And then the second half, the second half of the shoot was out the back at the sort of fire escape. But I didn't realise the fire escape sort of is below ground level, and it's just walls and rust and manky stuff. It's not the fire escape to my studio, it's the fire escape to the pub next door.
Ah, yeah.
So me and Kitty had to go through the pub in our full stuff and head out into the back.
Yeah, that pub wouldn't be freaked out by that.
Not at all.
They see some scary
well,
characters in
there's
there.
2 pubs, the Solid were fine with it. But once we got outside, we were about 20 minutes into shooting, and we looked up, and the little old man pub, there was just a team of wee old men at the window peering down.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
that was a good shoot. Photos look amazing. Kitty's just awesome.
You got anything else cosplay related that's going to be coming out soon?
I did a shoot with.
Give some shout out to some local cosplayers.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Kai Cosplay, Heather. We went to the park yesterday, and she was Yoshino from Date Alive.
You learned a lot about anime.
Learn a lot about anime. That's one of the things that I always do before a shoot. Research, which means YouTube for half an hour and a bag of Haribo. And really mega cutesy cosplay. And we went to the park, we found some flowers to dance about in, and did some cool, cute photos of those. So tomorrow I'm straight in the computer. I'm going to be making those look shiny and pretty and extra cute. So keep an eye out for those.
Excellent.
And that is all the cosplay photography I've done since LSCC. Oh, I did a nice shoot with Holly Rose at LSCC.
Hi, Holly.
Hey, Holly, I hope you're watching. I bet you're not. I hope you are. Her Riddler costume was incredible. Lil Prince cosplay. She made a 3-piece suit from scratch, and it just looked amazing.
It was brilliant. It was really so good. It was so good.
I got some nice nighttime shots at LSCC, so they'll be coming out on my Facebook pretty soon as well. Apart from that, I've been doing kind of family portrait stuff, bit of commercial stuff.
Paying the bills.
Paying the bills.
Nice one. Alvin has just emailed in with a question, so we'll get that done before we go.
Nice one.
And Alvin it's one for you, Alasdair.
Oh, cool.
And he said, have you thought of having some stock backgrounds for your photo booth in Photoshop that are matched perspective-wise for the photo booth? Hope that question makes something resembling sense. Do you get what that means?
I think that makes sense. Yes, backgrounds I can
green screen
in Photoshop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have toyed with green screen.
Okay.
I've played around with it before. I don't like it.
No.
I don't think it ever looks particularly realistic. It's hard to do well, basically. When you do it well, it looks great, but it's tricky to do really well. So I kind of stay away from that. But what I do with my black background, what I do,
Sorry.
I do have a little kind of stock set of backgrounds, background textures, nothing too specific, nothing, no locations, but more sort of walls,
textures
stuff, more than anything. And what I do in my booth when we're at Photoshop is drop those in. That's one of the reasons for the black background. Black background is easier to play around with the light. More effective, I think. It's more like a nighttime scene.
Yeah.
But also, if I'm dropping textures in, it's easier to blend that, make it look more realistic. So I do have a little collection of them. Yeah.
You've also got your flash gun with your hingamies, what they're called, like silhouettes. I've got a sort of. Just to explain that. That's quite cool.
Flash projector system.
Yeah.
I use it a lot in my location shoots. Basically, I rig up one of my flash guns to a lens. I can focus it, and it's just like a projector. And I've got a set of slides that go in, so I can project on a wall whatever I've got a slide of, really, and I can print the slides off. So I've had a few shoots with. If I shoot Kitty, you'll see I've got a sort of crosshair, sort of torchlight.
Amazing.
That was done with that. I did a shoot with Danielle. Hey Danielle. Ages ago, where I projected like chains and checkerboard onto the wall, because that kind of tied in with what the character used to get up to in the anime, which I'd never seen before. That's something I would love to bring into my photo booth. It would mean not using my black background. I probably need to use a grey background or a white background for that. but it could be quite effective.
Okay.
It looks cool as well. It's
Excellent.
a cool system to use. So yeah, hopefully we'll be seeing more of that.
Thanks for that, Alvin.
Cheers, Alvin.
Cheers for tuning in. Alvin's been tuning in for the last couple of weeks.
Nice one.
It's good to have regular folk.
Yeah.
It's good to have regular folk. So I think I can't really think of anything else. We're just about done. We killed the hour.
Just about done.
We were struggling.
Yeah.
We must admit, we both sort of came out. It was like, cannot be bothered. I did a lot of fiberglassing today, and I actually passed out for 2 hours afterwards. I'm going to call it a nap, but I think I may have actually gone unconscious. So when Alasdair arrived, I was really, really grumpy. And you weren't very happy either.
I'd spent the whole day driving around with car trouble today, man.
Oh, man.
My car battery died in my car park, and all these workies were helping me fix it. And I went, guys, step back. Fixed it, amazing. And this mechanic did not like the fact that the guy with long hair and purple nail polish fixed the car he failed to fix. So that cheered me up a bit.
All right. So you beat a workie.
I'm going to bed after this.
Okay. But before we do it, let's tidy up. How do people get in contact with you?
Get in contact with me.
Yeah. So website, Facebook, Twitter,
www.alasdairwatsonphotography.com, Facebook /Alasdair Watson Photography, email contact@AlasdairWatsonPhotography. You won't spell it right, so Google it. There's
links down below if you're watching on YouTube.
Links in the video.
There will be links in the video.
Same with everything. Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, search Alasdair Watson Photography. I will pop up. Drop me a message, drop me an email.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
You're very welcome.
We'll get you on again when there's a few more people watching in the future, when we do something more exciting.
We did have 7 viewers at one point.
Wow.
That's quite good.
11 was the record. 11. Oh, no.
Not bad the record.
I know. It's like dreams.
Who got 11?
I think
it might.
No, I think it was. I think it was Saucepan.
That's a good
I was just cutting a cheeky question. Alasdair, you're going to be at Decon?
I will be at Decon.
We never spoke about it. What date is Decon?
Decon is the 4th of April. Saturday, it's a one-day con. I will be at the con all day with my photo booth. I will be announcing how you book that.
That's like 3 weeks.
1 week on Saturday. It's in 10 days. So this weekend I'm at Newcastle Comic Con on the Sunday.
Yep.
Get in touch with me if you want some photos at that.
Okay.
Next weekend is Decon, all day Saturday in my photo booth. And if you're kicking around on the Sunday, I'm going to be doing location shoots in and around the campus, which is amazing for photos.
Alvin, I am going to Decon.
You're going to Decon?
I'm going to Decon with you.
You're my glamorous assistant for Decon.
Yeah, I will be at Decon. I will be at Decon, and I will be helping Alasdair out somewhat during the day. I think I'm going to cosplay. I should really, shouldn't I?
Why not?
I'm not. I didn't. I thought it was like in 3 weeks or something.
I was going to build something. It's a week on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be there, Alvin. You're going to be there, Alvin. Hope to see you there, man.
Yep.
Where else? What's happening after that?
A week after Decon is Edinburgh Comic Con.
We're going to be at that.
We will be at that. I'll be at that all weekend with my photo booth.
Yep.
And we will be in the pub all weekend after that.
I will be there dressing up and having a drink. And 2 weeks after that, it's Granite City Comic Con.
Granite City Comic Con in Aberdeen.
So it's not been official yet, but I will be at Granite City Comic Con, and I will be guest judging the cosplay competition. Yeah, no, all the way up north.
Yep.
So yeah, if anybody from Aberdeen is up that way, it's our first ever Comic Con up that part of the way. So it's exciting to hear.
It looks like it's going to be
in a skate park and climbing wall, which is amazing. So they're going to have like Spider-Man and Batman like climbing stuff and skateboarding, which I'm looking forward to seeing. So yeah. So that has been the Sorenzo Pop Show.
That's been an hour on the dot.
Alasdair Watson Photography, and no, we started late, so we'll spend another minute here, you know, give them the full hour. So yeah, thanks very much for you guys for tuning in.
Thank you for your awesome questions as well.
And we're starting to see the point in this. We should keep doing it every week, you know. But if you have any suggestions who you'd like to see me getting interviewed, I'm hoping to expand it a little bit and start talking to people via the internet. You can do that now, so you can talk to people in a different town,
like Star Trek,
different country, and you can see their face and they can talk to you. It's crazy.
Wow.
So I'm hoping to do that. But yeah, this is Sorenzo Prop Show. You all know me. Check me out. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can see all the more awesome videos. I'll be finishing up my mold helmet videos, hangouts. quite different. Not a tutorial, it's just watching me
Just
work.
watching you work.
Yeah, so you can put it on while you go to
On in
sleep,
the
and you can just
background.
like hear me working away. So yeah, don't forget to check out Facebook /Sorenzo Props. Twitter is @Sorenzo Props. Instagram Sorenzo Props, Sorenzo Props, Sorenzo Props. Just do a wee search and you'll find me. I have been Tom from Sorenzo Props. That has been Alasdair Watson from Alasdair Watson Photography. And thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.
See you later.
And then you press stop.